Hello, I'm Mike Siegel. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but what about 1,600 feet of pictures? The house had 8 reels of film squirreled away in an upstairs closet. The rare film tells an amazing story of adventure that was completely unknown until now. When this 6,000 square foot Georgian revival in Greensburg, Pennsylvania came up for sale, Janet James was the first to spot a mystery. After Janet and her husband Gene bought it, they began to notice signs that whoever built their house was wealthy.
I came upon this room full of coal that was like waist deep.
Yep, black gold. Lots of it, in the basement. It also had 8 bedrooms, a solid marble shower,
and when the doorbell rings, there is a servant call box in the kitchen.
That servant kept things tidy with a central vacuum. And the supersized hot water heater meant the mysterious owner could take extra long showers. But who could afford such luxuries 100 years ago? Little did they know, the James were about to come face to face with the answer and the owner. The first piece of the puzzle appeared as Janet unpacked in an upstairs linen closet. Hidden far back on a top shelf was a heavy leather book titled Diary Around the World. The diary looked close to 100 years old. Was there anything more? Sure enough, when Janet reached even farther back, she felt something else. She pulled out several boxes. Inside each, she found a silver canister.
And when I opened it, I realized, my gosh, it's rolls of film. I had no idea what it was.
The diary belonged to Charles B. or C.B. Hollingsworth, and public records confirmed the Hollingsworths built the house back in 1905. What else did they discover?
He was an attorney.
And a coal baron.
That would explain the coal in the basement and the home's lavish furnishings. But what would the movies reveal?
I was dying to watch them. And Gene said, you know, movies made in this era were often flammable. And he said, I'm afraid to watch them. I'm afraid that we'll ruin them. It is also the moral custom.
So Janet had to be content to read the diary. Then in the library, Gene made another discovery. A book he'd never seen before. Sandwiched between volumes of leather novels, it was an album filled with photographs.
Oh my gosh, these people were world travelers.
The black and white photos were hand-colored and carefully captioned. Finally, C.B. and Lucy had faces. But the album only piqued the couple's curiosity. They had to chance it and find a way to watch the mysterious and possibly dangerous movies. Gene dug up an old movie projector from the basement.
Oh, it's got titles.
But he didn't want to take too many risks.
And Gene said, get the fire extinguisher, they may catch on fire.
Carefully, Gene started the projector, not knowing what they were about to see. The film didn't catch on fire. Instead, 70-year-old images from around the world danced across the screen. CB captured Lucy on film.
Lucy riding in a Filipino bangka. Yeah, there she is.
The home movies document an 18-month trip around the world at the turn of the 20th century and opened a window that let Gene and Janet look into the Hollingsworths' world.
Seeing them on film and seeing them in these albums gave us an insight into them as human beings.
The film also helps confirm just how wealthy this home's original owner really had been.
I realized that as impressive as the house is and some of the fittings and fixtures in it, that these people really were moneyed. I mean, to be able to take an 18-month, 60,000-mile trip around the world, you know, the guy obviously didn't need to work very much to be able to afford that kind of time.
Janet and Gene learned CB and Lucy never had children. Their legacy was wrapped up in this house, waiting to be discovered.
But there's nobody to remember them. And yet we have this rich collection of photographs and movies and writings.
Treasures.